Welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. Let's go one more time and take a look at the ZEBEC price. As you can see, we've got the ZEBEC price here on the left hand side. Then we've got the Stellar Lumens on the right hand side. Over the course of like the last 6 months or something like that, we've been talking about ZEBEC, saying that it is repeating what Stellar Lumens was doing back in 2016, 2017 for this amazing bull run that it was having. So for ZEBEC, we have been waiting for a very long time, obviously, for this parabolic stage to start happening. But obviously, we had like very much drastic price action in the market over the last, week or two. Now, the question is, does ZEBEC still hold this structure which can push it towards something like 2.5 cents, 5 cents, and probably even something like 10 cents? We're going to be taking a look at that here because we have obviously drawn out some conclusions there to say, look, if we happen to lose support, we are no longer going to be repeating what Stellar Lumens was doing back then for its bull run. So for ZEBEC, the picture is very much clear. It's not as complicated as other altcoins there. So I mean, in terms of like an exit plan, I think we have got something to look forward to there. Now, before we start, I want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video by delicately tapping the like button. It will, of course, tell the YouTube algorithm that yes, this may be short and straight to the point, but it is exactly something that you need in this moment there. If you're also new to the channel, please subscribe because I do TA on ZEBEC and a number of other different altcoins on a regular basis. Let me not bomb them out too much here and let's get right into it. So you can see this wake of accumulation pattern that ZEBEC had been having. Then there was also the same thing that Stellar Lumens was having back in 2017. And of course, needless to say, this amazing rally that it has, which is almost, vertical, a pullback. You see the same thing here for ZEBEC. Another small rally in there. That is also what Stellar Lumens was doing back then. A back test of this support, And the amazing thing here for ZEBEC is this ultimate, a parabolic stage that we have been talking about for quite some time. So as I said before, it's very much clear cut for ZEBEC that ZEBEC doesn't have to lose the support. I'll quote it in a second. Let me just go ahead. And if we now start zooming in closely here, we see that, the support level goes as low as something like 0.0033, I would say, in terms of the dollar valuation. So if we're now beginning to close daily candles below 0.0033 here for ZEBEC, I think we're going to be, losing the whole structure that we have been having with Stellar Lumens back then, and just probably we're going to be losing this parabolic stage as well. So that hasn't happened just yet. Yes, the price went as low as something like 0.0024, I want to say, but it did not close a daily candle lower than that. Now, the thing here with ZEBEC is it moves with the rest of the market, just as you saw with that move, that it wasn't just ZEBEC falling over on its head, but it was because the rest of the market had been spooked. So, of course, we mentioned ZEBEC independently, but it is going to be definitely affected by what the rest of the market will do. And I will show you why I have a little bit of concerns right there. Now, let's take a look at it from a different lens altogether. This is the daily time frame, and you can see that we have had this symmetrical triangle. Now, these are 50-50%, patterns. Some people call them continuation patterns. I mean, if you want to consider it a continuation pattern here, that would sound a little bit bullish here for the ZEBEC price, in the sense that you're looking to continue pushing towards the upside since it is a continuation pattern. However, I think it's too early to celebrate anything, because what we're also seeing is that ZEBEC has been rejected, multiple times on this downward sloping resistance. And if this thing is going to be continuing to look bullish, we need to see a break at least and close a daily candle above what I would say maybe something like 0.0056 in terms of the dollar valuation. Once again, if we don't have any high here, this whole thing is still looking like a downtrend. And of course, as I'm speaking today, we are slightly below the upward sloping support. So that's not really great news here for ZEBEC. But if we also want to take a look at the underlying indicators, we also realize that the RSI is pretty much doing the same thing, lower highs as we continue like that, and this thing is still facing towards the downside. The MACD indicator also on the daily time frame is showing a little bit of weakness right there. Then maybe if you want to be considering like, the bigger time frames like the weekly and stuff like that, the momentum is still with the bears right at this point as we speak, with the RSI on the weekly right around like 51. If by tomorrow we see this weekly candle close below 50, that's not going to be painting a very good picture here for the ZEBEC price. Although we still have got this symmetrical triangle, which I said may be treated as a 50% chance, but also a lot of people like to call it continuation pattern. So we have got a pattern that can break in either direction. Then we also are seeing that the indicators are looking a little bit weak there. Once again, for me, in terms of like my ultimate decision, I think I'm going to be waiting to see if we have at least a daily candle close below something like 0.0033 in terms of the dollar valuation. I mean, if we're still holding above those levels, there is a very good chance that we're still holding this support and we can still go ahead for that parabolic run that we were talking about with Stellar Lumens. On the other side, we also look at the Bitcoin price. It's not really painting a very good picture as well, because we can see that it's, doing some kind of work of distribution kind of a thing there. And yeah, we may fall all the way to something like $97,000, $92,000. We'll see what the whole thing really pans out there. But the thing is that if the ZEBEC price, the Bitcoin price is going down like this, the odds for ZEBEC to perform better are just going to be getting lower and lower. So it is really a time to be monitoring stuff like, this support level, and also, of course, the symmetrical triangle to really see what they're going to be doing in terms of like the daily closures, because that's really, really important. Also, the RSI on the weekly is something that I'm going to be noting very much strongly. And of course, I'll come back to you on Monday and show you what's what right there. But the Bitcoin price may not do us any favors right there, and some decisions may have to be made here on the ZEBEC price. But other than that, you can really see that it's a 50-50 moment. All those things really have to be taken into consideration for a final decision. So I want to thank you so much for watching the video. If you could, please delicately tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, and I'll see you on the next one. Take really, really good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.